Henry and Jeannie from MxR Plays have once again received a strike from YouTube. In the past 2 or 3 years, I think they have gotten at least 3 strikes on their channel. 4 or 5 maybe even. It's pretty much honestly now a tale as old as time. A couple of months pass and they get a new strike on their channel. And of those of you who are wondering, wait, isn't it 3 strikes and YouTube just automatically deletes your channel without any questions? Yes, but those 3 strikes need to be active at the same time. Technically, a channel can accumulate an infinity amount of strikes. As long as it doesn't have 3 strikes on it at the same time, it is fine. Because strikes have the ability to expire over the period of a couple of months usually. So this is the situation they are trying to avoid. And I have to say, I like them. I like Henry and Jeannie. Their videos are great. Their videos are fun, entertaining, and pleasant to watch in general. I think they're also nice people, but I will say the thing that a lot of people don't want to hear is the fact that they are responsible at the end of the day for receiving these strikes. And if you have followed their story even remotely closely and can look at these things objectively, it's actually amazing how consistent of all things to say YouTube has been in striking them, because it's usually the exact same reason why they pretty much receive all of their strikes. And honestly, at this point, I think they should learn from it. But anyway, let's watch a little bit.
Alright, so we have some pretty huge news to share today. Not necessarily the greatest news, but it could be worse. As you may or may not have noticed, you're currently watching a video on MxR Plus and not MxR Plays. Because we're actually planning on uploading our reaction videos to this channel for the next 2 months. So if you wanted to continue watching our normal videos, please consider subscribing to this channel. Migrating channels is not something I take lightly. Like, I would only do it if the circumstances became extremely dire, and they may just have. Now, for those of you,
migrating channels is an easy way to lose possibly 50+% of your audience instantaneously.
You who follow me on Twitter, which if you're currently not, that's basically where I announce when things go wrong. Feel free to follow me there if you like to ascertain the reasons for disappearances. You might know that we got a strike about a month ago, and you might know that this was for reacting to a video of a girl hanging outside of a car window. Now, I will admit that is for sure a dangerous activity and we probably shouldn't have uploaded it, but in my defense, and maybe my flawed logic, the car was moving extremely slowly, and after she fell out, she got right back up and started walking normally. I may have foolishly thought, hey, if the girl is fine and she didn't seem to get hurt, like, what's the problem? Well,
okay, so, again, I like them, but this is my problem. This is not the first time they get a strike, they get into problems with YouTube for similar things like this. I do not, because this is seriously, legitimately flawed logic. This is promoting dangerous activities. This is not some kind of trend that's currently happening and people understand, yes, I could get lightly injured if I do this. Now, do you know what is the average height that an average person needs to just accidentally fall off and land not 100% correctly and die? It's less than 1 meter. Yes, you can literally accidentally fall off your bed, not even hit your head against something while falling, and you can still easily without problems die if you land incorrectly enough. So hanging from a car is definitely bad. And this is the thing. I look at that, if someone told me upload a video like that to YouTube, I would instantaneously be, no. That looks like something YouTube most likely 100% will strike me for. The strike on that is so extremely likely it's insane. But here's the thing with MxR Plays. They upload it anyway. They have done things like this multiple times. So just look at the video and recontextualize it a little bit. Where can we see a good portion where she's actually hanging from the car? In essence, what's happening currently here? This is reckless self-endangerment. Someone's filming it. This girl is promoting reckless self-harm, potentially something that is extremely dangerous, because, you know what? You know what's the thing here? It doesn't matter if the car's going slowly or not. It doesn't exactly matter the speed of the car when you can fall out of the car and your head gets, squished by the wheel. It doesn't exactly matter too much. Is the car going 10 miles an hour or 100 miles an hour at that point? You're still potentially dead. And then she falls out of the car, and then she gets back up. That doesn't mean that she's actually fine. She could potentially have a concussion, some kind of brain hemorrhaging, and potentially the girl could have honestly been dead after an hour. That's the reality of the situation. This is something that YouTube is 100% against. And obviously people are pissed and they're saying that YouTube is not enforcing their rules adequately and reinforcing them exactly the same way as for other creators. And we know that. We have all seen it 100%. I can show you videos where there's even more reckless, dangerous activities performed on YouTube that has millions of views. That is true. You can also point me to videos like that. That is 100% true. That is extremely common on YouTube. But the problem here is to understand, YouTube actually wants to get rid of all those videos. The fact that videos like that make it onto YouTube, that's a video falling through the cracks. And trust me, there are a lot of cracks. People forget this, and some people flat out don't know this about YouTube. But one thing is certain. YouTube deletes thousands of videos like this every single day. And the ones that get through just fall through the cracks for one reason or another. I can't tell you why, but YouTube doesn't want them. And if YouTube's system would recognize that they are that type of video, they would not be there in the first place. So, the fact that the girl is fine doesn't exactly mean anything good in this situation.
It's for sure a dangerous activity, and we probably shouldn't have uploaded it. But in my defense, and maybe my flawed logic, the car was moving extremely slowly, and after she fell out, she got right back up and started walking normally. I may have foolishly thought, hey, if the girl is fine and she didn't seem to get hurt, like, what's the problem? Well, it turns out it's more about the potentiality of the harm that could come from such an act, and
Exactly. That is also a reason why scam videos are deleted off of YouTube if it's a blatant scam. Admittedly, they get deleted super slow, and that is a serious problem on YouTube. But even scam videos get deleted. And scam videos, you can argue, are completely harmless because only really, really, really stupid people fall for scam videos. Like, for example, Elon Musk with his 100k follower YouTube channel telling everyone to buy Dogecoin or something. That's a scam. People who fall for it, most of us can say, yeah, that's your fault for falling for something as obvious as a scam as that. But YouTube still deletes those videos also. You see?
I learned that the hard way. So today we have a rubric that I share with my editors. It's right here, where every potentially dangerous video is put through a series of questions and tests, and if it fails, we exit out of the video. For example, we have like primary categories of conscious decision, reasoning for action, actual harm, degree of harm potential, and then secondary, like the controlled environments, who this person is, how experienced they are. We have a pretty rigorous system set up now to kind of avoid getting these kinds of strikes.
Okay, so obvious things are obvious. The system does not work. And by the way, this system is pretty stupid. I'm actually not gonna lie. This system is pretty stupid. Most of these points actually mean absolutely nothing to YouTube. Because he thought that that's fine because the woman was not harmed. Okay. So, does that mean that I can just upload and make videos of telling people to cut their veins or something like? Obviously I can't, but technically that would fit 100% okay by, Henry's rubric that he called it. What a fancy word. I wonder what that actually means. But yeah, you see, this is problematic. This is flawed. And the worst part is, they have gotten strikes for things like this video multiple times. Yet, for some reason, they are just not learning for some reason. It's honestly kind of mind-boggling.
Controlled environments, who this person is, how experienced they are. We have a pretty rigorous system set up now to kind of avoid getting these kinds of...
It doesn't matter, again, how rigorous your system is. If the system is flawed or does not actually deal with the subject matter at hand, the system doesn't achieve anything. And this is the case.
Strikes actually made it mandatory for every editor. They must point out 2 potentially dangerous clips and assess them with this rubric for every video that they edit. And I even have a guy that watches all of our videos after the fact with a focus on community guidelines, just to have another fresh pair of...
The dog's right. The community guidelines are useless because they are as vague as possible for YouTube to get rid of anyone if they deem it so. By the way, there are people who are saying that Jeremy is being targeted by YouTube unfairly, but I have to say, in the last couple of months, YouTube has been kinda extremely consistent with their actual reasoning. For example, the most recent thing that they're going to speak about at some point is Gordon Ramsay. Over-sexualization of Gordon Ramsay. That's a pretty big thing here. And by the way, YouTube is very consistent with this. If you want to get a strike for over-sexualization, just post someone's head and make it so he's swallowing a cucumber or something. And you will 100% pretty much always be banned. Striked for it. And the video is gonna get deleted. This happened with Actman and what was that stupid guy's name? Forgot who was his competitor there. But yeah, he also got a strike for over-sexualization. And yes, maybe if you're a smaller channel, you can upload something like that and absolutely not get punished for it. Because there's different contexts for different situations. As strange as that is, and you may not agree with it, but the reality is some people see things differently. Some people, for example, don't agree with my assessment that a video of the lady hanging out is even dangerous. Jeremy, not Jeremy, but why do I want to say Jeremy? Henry clearly would disagree with me that it's dangerous and that was a bad or potentially malice video. But still, YouTube decided to think like I did, that that is dangerous. Opinions can vary, and that is why YouTube doesn't have everything that you can do and can't do actually written down, because situations are extremely subjective in a lot of cases.
Not to mention, on top of this, we also upload a test video to 5 of mine and Ginny's other channels. We get them automatically flagged, so we have at least several human reviewers at YouTube look at them as well as give their stamp of approval. Although I have a sneaking suspicion that humans don't actually review them. When you request a human review...
This is most likely true, and I can tell you from experience. My channels usually don't have yellow, they usually have copyright strike claim, but if it's yellow, I just need to wait 5 seconds for a 20-minute video that I requested for review, and it's gonna be fixed. So yeah, humans obviously do not review everything.
Here, I'm like 99% sure that 80% of the time they just send over a robot reviewer. Now, if that being said, you think we'd be able to catch any strikes headed towards MxR Plays, right? Well, that is where you're wrong, because...
No. Because the automated strike system will still get re-triggered if enough people review it, and then the strike system gets a little bit more cheeky with what it actually deems fit or not, and maybe an actual person reviews it if not enough people report it. And if you're uploading a video like that woman hanging, there are gonna be unironically people who have absolutely no ill intent, may I add, and they report the video for some kind of harm or whatever, something like that. Keep in mind, no actual ill harm, they just report it because they think that's against the rules. And you know what? People report it enough, it gets reviewed, and people say, yeah, our automated system did not catch this as a bad thing. Because the automated system is not 100% perfect. It actually has a lot of mistakes. That's just a part of life, so you can't just catch it, you know, like that. Admittedly, it is a funny thing on YouTube that you can upload a video 5 times and it's the same video, and 3 of the 5 times maybe it gets flagged for something inappropriate, but 2 of the 5 times it doesn't, some magically. How it's a legitimate thing that happens on YouTube quite often, honestly. But the thing is, I would also like to point out, they skirt the line so often. They are I think they're the most well-known channel for absolutely 100% skirting the line as close to possible. All of their thumbnails will be almost 100% always in some way sexually implied in some form. Like, it's gonna be something provocative, you know? And they upload those thumbnails also multiple times. They have said this many times in their older videos also. They upload a thumbnail, YouTube finds it bad. Yellow sign of sadness, demonetized. They change something in the thumbnail, covered it a little bit up, upload it. Yeah, YouTube's automated system says it's good to go. It's still provocative, but it's good to go. And their content also is, in that sense, provocative, because they can just choose to not upload videos like this, but they are constantly doing it. Because the reality is, videos like that do fetch more views. Provocative things do fetch more views. And in their case, as much as I have seen, sometimes a provocative video or provocative thumbnail can potentially result in 30 to 50% more viewers on a video than average, which is a huge deal. But in their situation, they honestly don't need to do that. They can choose to not do this. They can choose to not get these strikes. They can just throw out all of this type of content and they would be fine. But they choose to continue doing it, scurrying the lines, while well understanding that they are scurrying the lines and they potentially could get punished for it. And that is what I don't understand about this situation.
Just a couple of days ago, while we were vacationing in Korea with Jeannie's family, we received a second strike. And you would never guess what it was for. Like, I think if I had to watch this clip 100 times, I would have still never in a million years thought it would be a strike. Now, I know that most people assume that when we get a strike, it's over something sexual, given the nature of our content. Even I would have thought that, to be honest. But shockingly, out of like the dozen strikes we've received, none of them have been for sexual content. We've had false...
The thing is, it's actually really hard to get an automated strike from YouTube for sexual content. Usually it's just demonetization. Sexual explicit content strikes on YouTube are seriously hard most of the time.
Ones that get removed, but I have an entire project file here with all of our strikes. Obviously, you know, I can't play all of them for you in case we actually get the strike again, but for the most part, it's people handling weapons, people handling firecrackers, kids.
Oh yeah, this kid. So let me also I think this is a great example. So this kid is handling firecrackers. And it potentially could have been bad for the kid. He's not going to show the clip, so I can speak about this. But yeah, this is a problem. Like, the fact that they look at this and they don't see any problems with this is honestly kind of mind-blowing to me. Because if something bad doesn't happen, it doesn't mean that it's not bad, that it couldn't potentially happen. For example, videos like this where kids are handling firecrackers. Let me recontextualize the situation and tell me what you honestly think, okay? So, let's imagine there's like a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 4-year-old kid. They find a firecracker and they light it up. And you as an adult tell them nothing. And you know that this child most likely doesn't understand what's happening. They could potentially eat it. They could light it up and put it in front of their eyes, seeing what's burning inside or something like that. The situation could end up very poorly and permanently for the child. Maybe not exactly dead, but you know, maimed or crippled for life. Potentially, it could happen. And the situation is like this: an adult sees a child take up a firecracker, doesn't explain that it's dangerous, does nothing, but finds a camera and starts recording. This is not hard to contextualize as child abuse to a certain degree. Not the sexual kind, but the physical kind. That you are recording child abuse. Because you have absolutely you are completely ignoring everything about that child's safety. Your main priority is just recording a video where a child could potentially seriously injure themselves. That can easily be seen on YouTube as spreading child abuse videos. And as we all know on YouTube, that actually does happen. That videos like that do get sent, especially on non-English speaking communities and whatnot. But yeah, videos like that, they do seem innocent, but it's not really hard to figure out or understand why they could be potentially seen as child abusive or something like that. Because it's not a large step to make for it to be like that suddenly.
Getting hurt to an extremely mild degree. A guy shoving a wasp in his mouth. A guy that
That's potentially life-ending, by the way.
got hit by a car.
Guy get hit by a car. Again, all of these things are potentially gore. Potentially gore or very bad. And the fact that they absolutely see no problem with this is kind of mind-blowing in my opinion. It truly is. Especially considering, look at this. Who here is not going to say that, wait a minute, all these clips kind of are following the exact same pattern, and yet you keep uploading things of similar, if not the same nature. At that point, you need to ask questions.
More wasp handling. We have some really crazy ones here. I think this one takes the cake as the most out of the blue. The most what the fuck, the most I would have never seen that coming kind of strike. And what's worse is that it's a second strike, meaning we can't upload for 14 days. And if we get one more strike in a 2-month period, our channel will be deleted forever.
Oh, it's a 2-month period, okay.
And I won't be allowed on YouTube ever again.
But Genie will be allowed on YouTube. This is how Keemstar actually skirts his ban. Leafy, though, got completely ignored on that one, though.
Like a permaban. So prepare yourselves for this. Okay, I did not make this up. Somebody at YouTube told me this is the reason. The exact strike email reads as content featuring non-consensual sexual activity, unwanted sexualization, or otherwise degradingly sexualizes an individual is not allowed on YouTube. Now reading this, you think it was like rape or a guy touching a girl without her consent.
Not even close.
Or making inappropriate sexual...
And I'm saying, no, that's not what those guidelines are referring at all. Again, Actman got a strike officially for... What's that stupid guy's name that striked him for false reasons? I forgot it. But he got a strike technically on his video for showing that guy's face and a cucumber entering the mouth. You may phrase it as you will. But personally, when I see that, and I know that it's not a skit, it's not anything, yes, that is 100% sexualized content, intentionally, and most likely that other person does not exactly want that, or even if they do want it, it's honestly irrelevant, because it's still sexualized content, or over-sexualized content, because it's essentially graphically recreating a sexual act, in the most broadest of terms. Yes, it is stupid. I will agree to that, 100%. But am I really the only one who sees that? Extremely easy to spot as a strike? Am I really the only one who sees that like as a clear, easy reason to get a strike? No.
Comments at a girl that wasn't asking for it, or like drawing a porn of a girl when she was against it. But no, it was because we
drawing a porn again. By the way, okay, I'll let him speak.
Put Gordon Ramsay's face onto a girl wearing a bikini playing Twister.
A girl playing Twister in a bikini, 99 out of 100 times, will be intentionally sexualized. Putting Gordon Ramsay's face on it, 100% fits this description that YouTube sent him. There is no question about it. And yes, it is stupid, and maybe you shouldn't exactly get a strike, but it's obvious that is gonna be a huge question. Do you get a strike for that or no? I personally see all of those videos that he showed and the Gordon Ramsay thing as, yeah, this has an extremely high likelihood of getting a strike on the channel. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I don't know. For me, it's kind of obvious, but seemingly for Henry, Genie, their 500 editors and 500 reviewers, it's not obvious that that could be even a problem.
We had somehow unknowingly sexualized Gordon Ramsay without his consent. This is not a joke. I'm being dead serious, is what YouTube told me. So here's Gordon Ramsay's face that we used. Here's the girl in question playing Twister. Now let me show you how to get a strike on YouTube.
Well, yeah, it is stupid. It's true, it is stupid. But again, most people can easily agree, if you look at objectively, that that is 100% over sexualization of something. You know, obviously, if the girl was just playing Twister, and there was no Gordon Ramsay face, they don't get a strike. And that's kind of bullshit, I know, but that's the world that we live in. It's not fair, and it will never be fair. But the moment you put Gordon Ramsay's face there, oh yeah, it's most likely gonna get striked. But without that, it would probably get the yellow mark of sadness and demonetization, but not a strike at least.
So, like, are you really telling me that someone out there is thinking nasty thoughts about Gordon Ramsay because they saw this pic?
Absolutely irrelevant.
Obviously, it meant for comedy. It's not even a good...
Still irrelevant, honestly. Again, the thinking here that Henry displays is completely irrelevant and has absolutely nothing to do with how these rules are supposed to function. It seems like he just has a complete misunderstanding of how the rules should be viewed or interpreted.
Good Photoshop, it's not even a deep fake, it's not even a video. It's just a silly face dragged onto a body. If you want, you can respectfully tweet at Team YouTube, but they probably won't do anything. I already put in an appeal. It was rejected for the exact reason I just stated. Unwanted.
Yes. So, people who are saying that YouTube is not consistent, I will argue that YouTube has been, especially in the past couple of months, extremely consistent on the over-sexualization stuff, and a couple of other things, honestly, also. Some magically how YouTube is, strangely enough, getting it together to a certain degree and actually showing a little bit of consistency. Admittedly, this consistency is kind of bad because it usually hurts legitimate channels, legitimate creators, but it is consistency, and that's kind of what everyone has always wanted.
Sexualization of Gordon Ramsay. So now that you know what the strike is for, if you were to put yourself in my shoes, could you in good conscience continue to upload on
no. I would also not upload, yeah.
Channel one strike away from permanent ban? YouTube is my livelihood. It's what I've been doing as my job since I was 17. If I can get a strike for putting Gordon Ramsay's face on a girl's body, I don't even dare contemplate the various multitude of other ways I could get a strike. Like, I thought I knew the rules. I do not know the rules.
I'm sorry, Henry, but your history has shown that you blatantly do not understand the rules in the fucking slightest.
This isn't even expressly stated in their guidelines.
Nothing's expressively stated in the guidelines. That's why the guidelines exist. They exist to be vague on purpose.
Of rule reading, editor reviews, human reviews, employees I can hire could have ever saved me from this.
True.
I'm pretty sure most of you would have watched this clip and have had no idea that this was a strike. I think...
By the way, it's actually true what he says. Most people would not know this. And if you don't get a strike, that's fine. People don't get strikes for things like this constantly, but I would like to note that MxR Plays is a pretty huge channel, okay? And huge channels get special treatment. And that special treatment is not always the kind of treatment that these channels want. That, you know, there's a little bit of leniency towards them and so on. Sometimes being a big channel means that the special treatment that you receive is that you are going to be used as the whipping boy, to show people that some rules need to be followed. There is a chance that that is happening. I honestly think I could upload Gordon Ramsay like that, and there is a chance that I wouldn't get a strike. But again, this is a super small channel. They're a huge channel. They play by different rules. Do they want it or not? The rules apply different to you depending on your channel size.
Most normal humans wouldn't have ever seen this coming. I am traumatized by this situation, and moving forward, I will be doubting everything I do. I will be second guessing every edit that I make.
Good, like every other human in existence.
And I will most likely never feel safe from being banned again at this point. And so that's why MxR
Good, like every other YouTuber on this platform.
Plays will no longer have any reaction content until its first strike expires in 2 months. Once the punishment period is over in about 2 weeks, I will try my best to upload at least once every 3 days so the channel doesn't completely die. We'll be bringing back old school safe videos like cooking, reading comments.
They will most likely just instantaneously return to the channel because most people on MxR Plays will not be on the new channel. So they will return as soon as the strikes end. Don't worry about that. It's going to be fine. They're just going to have 2 channels they can potentially upload on. So, you know, that doesn't honestly matter too much. But there is one thing I would like to say. Also, the thing about Henry and Jeannie is they absolutely don't need to do any of the dangerous React content. Their other stuff is getting the same amount of views, if not more views than the React content. The only reason they are continuing doing the React content is money. Literally money. Because when you have a team of editors that send you links to funny videos, and again, you know, you see at the very start of the videos, it's like, okay, for today we're looking at, and he's Googling something. I am willing to put a lot of money on a bet that that is fake. Their editors or whoever they are hiring just find the most interesting, funny clips and so on, and they just react. Admittedly, there is a chance they actually just go to a random subreddit that they like, and then they just watch it for an hour, and then you get like a condensed 10-minute video, 20-minute video of it. There is a chance of that, but most likely that stuff is fake. They're doing these React videos because those React videos are super simple to do, super fast to do, and they make a lot of money. At the end of the day, again, they are responsible for their strikes.
Comments, opening your packages, stuff that basically has virtually no chance of being struck. And if you ever want to support us and have access to additional content if MxR Plays ever goes down permanently, we have our Patreon here if you want to sign up.
Good luck.
We record another Truth or Drink with Kai. We're going to start sticking things inside of our doll. And hey, we even invite...
And that's pretty much the end of the video. But yeah, it sucks that this happens. But I will say, YouTube is being kind of consistent here. Same happened to Ackman when he did the thing with the dumb guy's face and cucumber or whatever it was. Same thing now happening there. YouTube is honestly being pretty consistent. What can I say? But yeah, they could stop this. They could easily avoid all of these strikes and potential losses of their channel, but they choose to not to do it. Still, kind of fucking sad that that's happening, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Subscribe if you haven't already. This was Quizzer Since, and have a nice day. Bye bye.